What is going on, everyone? It's Matt Deeks here. Appreciate you guys dropping by. Today I'm breaking down the Pyrecannon. We're talking pros, cons, the best gun perks, which class perks to pair with, and some tips and tricks to maximize it on the battlefield. If that's something you're into, stick around. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below what you think of the Pyrecannon, and let's dive in. Now, the Pyrecannon is basically Warhammer 40k's version of a flamethrower, a heavy, brutal weapon designed to devastate anything in front of you. It's amazing for frontline control, pushing back waves, and deleting clusters of enemies. When paired with a strong sidearm, like a plasma pistol in my opinion, it turns into one of the best horde clearing setups you can run. Alright, so let's start with some of the good stuff, the pros. Number 1, insane crowd control. This is where the Pyrecannon absolutely shines. Against hordes of minorous enemies, it just melts them. The wide flame spread means you don't even have to aim precisely. Just sweep across a group and they're gone. On siege missions or any mode with large waves, it's basically your cleanup crew in one gun. Number 2, area denial and zone control. The flames aren't just about damage. They create an area that enemies hesitate to enter. Even tougher mobs will stagger or take chip damage moving through your fire. This makes it amazing for holding choke points, protecting objectives, or locking down a lane so your squad can focus elsewhere. Number 3, damage over time. Burn damage lingers, so enemies continue to take hits even after you stop spraying. This means you can tag groups, reposition, and let the fire finish the job while you conserve ammo or pull out your sidearm. Number 4, morale pressure and chaos factor. Against AI mobs, flames scatter their formations. They break ranks, run around, and stop their push. That disruption buys time for you and your squad to stabilize. Even in co-op, enemies stagger more often, which helps your teammates land clean shots or finish melee combos. Number 5, surprisingly ammo efficient. In bursts, I might add though. While holding down the trigger endlessly will drain you fast, short flame sweeps across clustered enemies are highly efficient. Instead of wasting clips on individuals, you're damaging dozens in one motion. Paired with ammo conserving perks or ammo regen perks, it can be sustainable deep into longer missions. Number 6, synergy with sidearms. The Pyrecannon softens up big threats and wipes out small ones. Pairing it with a plasma pistol or other precision weapon means you've got coverage for every scenario. You burn through mobs, then whip out your sidearm to finish majors or bosses. Okay. Number 7, the last one for the pros, team utility. Even though the blinding effect can be a problem, which we'll get into in the cons. There's some major cons with its blinding effect, but we'll get into that in a second, guys. Having a Pyrecannon on your squad forces enemy mobs into predictable movements. Your teammates can line up grenades, melee finishers, or headshots without worrying about being swarmed. Now, we know about some of the Pyrecannon's pros. Let's get into the cons and some of its challenges. Of course, it's not all good news. The Pyrecannon has some serious drawbacks. Number 1, blinding flame effects. The flames are bright, smoky, and can block your vision. This makes it harder to spot enemy unblockable or blockable attacks. And since you're usually in close range, that can be deadly. Teammates aren't immune either. Your fire can make it harder for them to see enemy tells. Many players online that I can, even in my comments, they say fighting near a Pyrecannon can feel like fighting half blind. Number 2, massive spread and lack of precision. So great for hordes, terrible for accuracy. If you're running a stratagem where friendly fire is active and it's one of your battlefield conditions, this gun completely ruin your team's run. You also can't reliably focus fire on single enemies without wasting a ton of flame on empty space. Alright guys, so keep that in mind. Number 3, struggles against majors, extremists, and bosses. Now it's not bad against Majoris, But when you're up against higher tier enemies, the Pyrecannon starts to fall off. These enemies don't die quickly, and standing close while holding a flame stream leaves you open. You'll often need to parry, block, or dodge, but with the Pyrecannon's animation lock and limited mobility, that's tough to pull off. So as you can see, kind of comparing the pros and cons, in my opinion, there are more pros than cons. Now, is this my personal ideal weapon to bring into the fight? Probably not. As a heavy, I prefer the multi-melta. That's just me personally, or the plasma incinerator. However, if you just love to hold down that trigger, spray, pray, and you're just a you love flames, then this is the gun for you. All right, so it is devastating against minoris, but can struggle against majoris and against extremis or higher. It's really tough, guys. Again, like I said, you'll often need to parry, block, or dodge, even if you're in middle range or mid range. But with the Pyrecannon's animation and limited mobility, it's really tough to do. So just keep that in mind, guys. All right, so those are some of your cons, those are some of your pros. Let's get into the best perks and build recommendations. All right, guys, so let's get into in my opinion, my S tier Pyrecannon heavy build. So let's start off quickly with the Pyrecannon's kind of overall perks and which one I have chosen in terms of its different options. So I chose the Relic. I like this one here. It's the Cathalamor Crusade. The reason I chose that was just for increased magazine capacity. I am testing this one out as well, which has an increased venting speed. This one actually, from the various tests that I've done recently, this one actually might be a bit better, but so far I've been using this one. But guys, honestly, they're very similar. You can't really go wrong with either, all right? In terms of my perk tree, I know I have not fully leveled up the Relic. I will be doing that, so I'll probably be getting one or two more of the mastery points for Relic. But just for now, guys, I'll show you what I have. I have, for my first one, I have Perpetual Cooling. And then for my second, I have Flame of Protection. Then I have Contingency Plan, Rapid Health. Now this one's very cool. So when your health is below 30%, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores health by 10%. Doesn't restore armor, it actually restores your health. And if you can see here, guys, there's no cooldown. So killing 7 enemies when your health is below 30% actually happens very often, especially on you're in siege mode or stratagems hard mode. You got a bunch of minoris and you're just absolutely annihilating them with this Pyrecannon. So this one actually is very beneficial in my opinion. Then I got Divine Might, just a blanket damage increase. And then I chose this bottom lane because I wanted to get this one right here. But let's just go into this one first. Heavy Immunity. So while in heavy stance, you do not lose control from heavy hits. Now, personally, I don't really go into a heavy stance with the Pyrecannon. With my multi-melta, I do. But for this one, I found that I just didn't. I didn't need to. So the reason I chose this was because I had to choose that to open up the lane to get to this one, which is Flash Burn. So enemies at a distance of less than 10 meters, which is most likely all of them, take 20% more damage. All right, guys, so that is my perk tree for the Relic. When I do get the one more Relic Mastery, I will be, or when I get one more point, I will either be choosing this one here just for an additional burn damage increase of 15%, or I'll be choosing this one here, which is the increase in maximum ammo. All right, guys, let's move on. Now, in terms of my sidearm, guys, I choose the plasma pistol. For me, that's what I love. In terms of kind of just softening up the enemies, the Pyrecannon does a great job of that. And then you come in with your sidearm, pop a few shots off, and they can be executed, or they just die on the spot, all right? So this one right here, guys, I chose the top left, which is the Cathalamor Crusade. If you want to see my perk tree, guys, I'll leave it up here for a second. I won't go into every single detail here, but feel free to copy it. But let's move on, guys. Let's get into the actual perk tree of my heavy, and there are a few changes that need to be made in order to fully maximize the Pyrecannon. Now Now, I made a full dedicated video on my S tier heavy build, my main weapon for the heavy class, and still even now I prefer the multi-melta, okay? However, this video is about the Pyrecannon, so there are some adjustments that I made for the Pyrecannon. Now, first off, guys, let's get into this core perk here. Now, the first one, I usually choose this one right here when I'm using the multi-melta. So killing 5 or more enemies with 1 shot from a multi-melta restores ammo by 1. This happens almost every shot, especially against Minoris, Siege hard mode, stratagems. It happens very often, so it's very advantageous to use this one. However, if you're using the Pyrecannon, there's no reason to use this multi-kill class perk because you're not using the multi-melta. So I recommend this one right here, okay guys? Restoration. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores 1 armor segment. Cooldown is 15 seconds. This can also be used with the multi-melta, but in my opinion, this is a bit more advantageous and specific for the multi-melta. So if you're using the Pyrecannon, go for this one right here. Moving on to the second core perk, guys, I got Fortitude, just a blanket 30% increase in health. I'll take that every day. Third core perk is right here, guys. So versatility. After switching weapons, your secondary weapon deals 20% more damage. The effects last until reloading or switching back to your primary. So it's great for, you know, when you're softening up your Majoris with the Pyrecannon, you come in, you get that switch into your secondary. It's got that 20% more damage, 1 shot, 2 shots max, and boom, you're able to kill them or execute them. In terms of my team perk, guys, I chose this one right here. Additional supplies, ammo capacity for all squad members' primary weapon increases by 25%. This is the one I prefer, and this is the one I choose. Going into the gear perks, guys, this is a must-have, must-have, must-have. Consecutive execution, all right? Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores your equipment charge, so your grenades, and your cooldown is 90 seconds. If you're not paired with a secure stockpile tactical, this comes in handy. It's also kind of stacked, so even if you're running a secure stockpile tactical on your team, this one is stacked, so you'll be getting grenades like it's no one's business. Pair that with a crack grenade or a melta bomb. It's insane, guys. All right, highly recommend this one right here. Moving on to my second gear perk is this one here, Abdurate Bastion. Am I saying that right? Abdurate Bastion. Iron Halo durability increased by 20%. All right. And then we got right here, we got Brute Force. When Iron Halo is in cooldown, range damage increases by 15%. All right. And then for my signature perk, guys, I got Conversion Field. So when Iron Halo is active, all squad members within 20 meters regenerate ability charge 50% faster. So if you're paired with a, you know, tactical with the Auspex or a Bulwark with the banner, this is really going to come in handy. Moving on to the prestige perks, guys, I won't go into too much detail on every single one, but first one, Auxiliary Reload. Then I got Indomitable Spirit. Then I got Duelist. And then I got Conviction. All right, guys, I found that for heavy, the other perks just were not advantageous. They were kind of meh. These are probably the top tier perks in the prestige perk subcategory for heavy. So again, you could choose whatever you feel is best, but this is what I feel worked for me and the overall perk layout. All right, guys, so with that being said, this is my perk layout, prestige perks, core perk, team, gear, signature that I use for the Pyrecannon specifically, okay? Again, if you're using the multi-melta, there are a few changes here that I would recommend. But with that being said, guys, let's move on. All right, guys, so let's get into some tips and tricks, all right? So some quick battlefield tips. Now, use choke points and corridors to your advantage. Let enemies bottleneck into your flames. Now, a lot of enemies will follow you. They are attached to you. They love you. So let them follow you, okay? This is to your advantage. So let them follow you into corridors, into choke points. Siege mode has lots of this, okay? So, again, funnel them in there and let the fire rain, all right? So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, Be aware of teammates. Avoid blinding or burning them if friendly fire is on as a battlefield condition in stratagems. I would actually recommend don't even use this, okay? If you are of heavy and there is friendly fire on, I wouldn't even use the multi-melta. Use the plasma incinerator. You can isolate shots and you can target shots a lot more efficiently than kind of the Pyrecannon or the multi-meltas. Very massive spread. Okay, so that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, swap to your sidearm for elites or bosses. Don't rely on the Pyrecannon alone. Okay, they are great for minoris, even some majoris, but the higher level enemies will attack you at rapid rates, and just the animation and the lock on the Pyrecannon, it's hard to switch between like parrying and dodging and flaming. So just keep that in mind, guys. Always be very fluid, always be switching to your firearm when you can, when possible. Okay, number 3, position behind number 4, I believe we're on number 4. Position behind melee teammates. Let them engage first, then sweep fire around them. Okay, especially when friendly fire is not active, this can be very advantageous. All right, guys. Tip number 5, and I'm going to leave you on this one, guys. Very important. Now, the Pyrecannon is blinding, as I've said many times, and probably what you've experienced. What I recommend when fighting enemies that will attack you, parry you with the blue and the red signs or markers, ping the enemy so you know exactly where they are. Does it help 100%? No, but will it allow you to see them a little better? Yes. It kind of outlines their body and allows you and your teammates to see them more efficiently. Is it a 100% scapegoat? No. You will not be able to see them as good as you would using whatever other weapon there is in the game, pretty much every other long range, but it will help you a little bit see them a little more clear. Okay, guys, so outline them, just ping them, or if your teammate has, even better, but ping them, guys, to allow you and your teammates again to see them a little better. All right, guys, with that being said, I will leave you at that. All right, guys, appreciate you all dropping by. Let me know what you thought of this video, if it helped you with the Pyrecannon. It is an absolute horde melter, perfect for crowd control and frontline pressure, but it comes with some serious downsides if you're careless. Learn its strengths, respect its weaknesses, and you'll be deleting mobs while keeping your squad alive. Thanks again for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, subscribe if you appreciate this video, and guys, I'll see you in the next one.
One of the Cadians had an encrypted data slate. Your orders are to recover it. Data slate recovery in progress. The data slate is still missing. One of these fallen Cadians has the data slate on. He's missing. Stay sharp and prepare your gear before combat continues.
Our time will not be squandered, Captain.
The Cadians died to save that information. Their sacrifice has not been wasted.
Equipping additional stimulus.
Heavy reinforcement deployed.
Reinforcements obtained. Iron Hail ready.
Hostile targets inbound.